Hi, I'm Gemma, and this is a chat with Gemma. I haven't been making many videos lately because I really have not been up to it. Um, I've sort of been for quite some time now seeing my father pretty much every day. It's easing off a little bit now, and I'm maybe going most days and having the odd day off here or there. But if you're a carer, you know, dips my lid to you. It's really a tough job. I'm lucky in that I've got lots of siblings that, do a lot of the work as well. Some people do it on their own, or they might be one of, a small family, and so it's a lot of work between you. I hope my little cooler thing is not making a noise at the moment. Um, it was about 38 degrees today in Melbourne, so I don't like hot weather. And I nearly had the money for an air conditioner, and then all of a sudden I had to buy another car quickly. So there went all my money. So now I'm chiseling, the rust off the bottom of the barrel at the moment financially. So wasn't expecting that to happen quite at this point, but anyway, life likes to do things like that to you, doesn't it? And I was just, I kind of started thinking about where I could put an air conditioner and what sort of one to get and all those sorts of things. Anyway, might never happen in my lifetime now. But anyway, so I've got these little coolers to put water in, and they kind of saved my life. And I had another, I've talked about it before, these people who say they love the hot weather. I had a chappie say that to me today. But he's a lovely chappie, so can't feel cross, can you? But yes, some people say they love the heat. I'm not one of those people because I suffer from hot flushes. And I'm old, and, things creak and they hurt. Yes, getting back to being a carer, it's a it's a tough job just physically because you have your own life and all the things that you try to get done. If you're like me, you never feel like you can get your dishes done and your clothes washed and ironed and all of those sorts of things, and the house cleaned and the gardening done, and you're always, well, I always feel like I'm always well behind with all of that. And so when you add on top of that going and visiting an elderly parent, perhaps doing things for them or even just sitting with them for ages, it really takes a big chunk out of your day, and it can create quite a bit of fatigue. So you get physical fatigue, but I also find, and again, I'm not talking, the reason I do these videos is not to whinge and whine about my situations, but it's to help other people to feel less alone, to help people feel like other people feel like they do. And, there are lots of people out there that understand and maybe can relate to, in some way, to things that you're going through. So, yeah, without meaning to whinge and whine, just observing myself, I noticed that it's like carrying, a weight of bricks around on my shoulders all the time. Because, as I say, there's the physical doing work and maybe dressing the person, helping them to, making their bed or cleaning things or whatever else on top of your own stuff, which makes you, if you're like me, by the end of the day, some days I have had it. That's all I can do. So yeah, it can be very physically tiring, and I can't really complain because I know some people really have it hard. But I'm observing myself, and I also carry a kind of a weight of emotions. So I'll feel just generally worried, or so one of the things with old people is you don't know what's going to happen, so you don't see into the future. Um, it's not like well, this particular old person here, they're going to die on the 14th of the month, so there's no point kind of, moving heaven and earth to do anything for them because it's not going to be worthwhile. Whereas this person's going to live for another 7 years, maybe bedridden and being spoon-fed, who knows what. But yeah, you absolutely need to get, if the house needs mending or if they need to go into a home or whatever it is, yeah, things need to be done for them so that their life is livable, The surroundings for them are pleasant and not falling apart, things like that. So yeah, you don't have unless you've got the gift of prophecy, seeing into the future, you don't have any way of kind of knowing what to do and what not to do. And also there's the worry, like, I'm about to go on a holiday soon, a beach holiday. I have 1 week a year, and I can tell you my siblings do not have just 1 week a year. And, I'm just so worried about that. So, yeah, you carry all these emotions around with you without maybe realising that you are doing that. So some of the emotions might be grief because you, as I keep saying to people, it's a new day. You have to look at it as a new day. And some members of my family would like my dad to just be able to go back to how he was and everything would be how it was, and they'd have their dad as he was. Well, that's not possible. It's never going to happen. It's a new day, you have to be practical. And, some of my siblings are a lot younger than I am, so they haven't seen as much and they're less mature and all of that, so it's understandable. And everybody grieves in their own ways, and so some of them having a lot of trouble facing up to what's right in front of their eyes, and so then they're opposing what I think needs to be done. So that's very stressful for me. It's obviously not great for them either, and but you have to sort of recognise that things aren't as they were, and so how do you walk away from the past? How do you walk away and just let it go? It's very, very hard and incredibly sad at times. So does that mean I'm sad all the time? No, thank God. I thought I would be, actually. I thought how am I going to, and that's another thing, how am I going to escape from, if you think you're going to be feeling bad forever, how am I going to escape from this? I can't be like this forever. It's a claustrophobic feeling. You've got to escape, got to escape, got to escape. But I can't escape. The stress is going to be there every day. But it does seem to, I think when God made us, there's a little switch in there somewhere that where we do manage to sort of, find ourselves laughing at something. Or, I like to make jewelry, as I've talked about before, and I can lose myself for a while and think, that time just went by. Oh, there's one of them there. Peyote stitch bracelet. So I can just lose myself in things like that and find that a whole lot of time went by, and then I'm really angry because I didn't get anything properly done. But you know what I mean. So, which is not a bad thing right now. So yeah, you can have times where you're not feeling really anything, and you're just basically, I suppose, having an emotional rest. But yeah, you can sometimes have that, this is too much for me. And in my case, as I've said, I'm 70, I'm an old lady. I'm already suffering from just old lady tiredness. Just part of waking up in the morning and existing is, being tired. So, and as I say, things in your body are stiff and hurt when you're my age. So, yeah, you kind of think, I can't cope with this, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. What am I going to do? And So sometimes you might find that you cry or whatever, or you have to have a chat with somebody. A couple of times I've been like that and rung up for some support and ended up having a fight with somebody in my family. So that really helped not. So that can happen. You've got to be careful about. But when I listen to my own advice, you've got to be careful about who that person is that you ring up and talk to, because not everybody is good in those situations. They might be quite good in other situations. But yeah, you can feel like the room's closing in on you, the walls are closing in, and you just can't do this. And, like people are always saying, like Dad's in a home now, thank God now. He's being looked after, and all of that, look after yourself. You've got to have some me time, all that stuff. And that is very true, but that doesn't come, not so much the me time, but just forgetting about Dad doesn't come naturally to me, because every time I go there, there's a problem to be solved. I've got to pull him out of other people's bedrooms, or, whatever it is. There's just always a mess to be cleaned up, or, something, or I've got to explain something to him or answer a lot of questions that don't necessarily make any sense at all. But just keep answering them and, trying to reassure Dad and comfort him and all of that. There's just minute by minute by minute something that needs to be done. And so when I go, usually I try to go when he's going to bed, so I know he's going to hopefully be asleep soon and all of that. But when I leave, often I just have to leave him as he is, and knowing that there'll be another problem to be solved in another second. And as I probably talked about before, other members of my, and I've Googled this quite a bit, and I think I've got it so much better than a lot of people do in the same sort of situation. But yeah, there are people who talk about how there's a sibling, maybe there's two of them, and they're doing everything at their wits' end. Maybe they've got young children to look after, and so they've got an ageing parent at a young, when they're still quite young themselves, and they're at their wits' ends just being a mum and a wife and whatever. And then they've got this brother who lives in another state or country or whatever it is, who shows no interest in the parent. So the parent who, breastfed them, more likely, got up to them in the night when they were sick, clothed them, fed them, worried about them. Now in their time of need, they have no interest at all. So that's, without kind of, I won't name names or anything like that, but that's sort of happened in my family to a degree. With one person to quite a large degree, and to other people's just to a little degree. And you just got to look at them and think, oh, they just are not worried, not interested. They seemingly, I won't say they don't care at all, because I think, obviously I think that's a bit strong, but you'd swear they didn't at times, So that's, for me, at times the biggest stress is the fact that you've got these people who could be doing things, who are just having long, expensive holidays after holidays after holidays, and, the big outings and the big expensive meals and all of that sort of thing. And you might say, well, that's their business, and that's true, that's their lives and the way they live. but I'm a human being, so, it rankles with me. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you carers out there in the same situation probably have some really, really, really rankling siblings who are just maybe living the dream, even putting photos on Facebook and stuff like that to show just how wonderful their lives are, where you are heading your hands with exhaustion and frustration, not knowing what to do next, and not knowing how to solve this problem and this problem and this problem, one after the other, after the other, after the other, and then there's financial issues, and then there's all of your own life to deal with. And I don't know what I can say. Like, I give you my sympathy, and I absolutely give you my utmost, right up to here, wrapped in a big bow, my admiration, because I'm not going through that much compared to some people. But there's times when I'm just puffed out, like I can't even get my breath anymore. I'm so tired and puffed out. So if you're going through that, mate, God bless you. I really do admire you. You're noble. You're a noble, noble person. And as I say, for me, the worst stress is this business with siblings who have, just opposed me all the time, driven me nearly out of my mind, and not done very much at all, shall we say. You can fit it in between those two fingers. See that? That's how much they've done. So if you're in that situation, I'm so sympathetic, and I understand. God bless you, and God bless you, and God bless you. All the angels and all the saints pray for you and help you. May God just carry you in his arms, because you deserve it. And please find a little minute here or there to do something nice for you. I give you my love, and bye for now.